How is this going to create jobs, grow the economy and improve wildlife off our coast? I'm 2 miles off the coast of Scarborough to find out exactly how.
Okay, good morning. My name's Wave Crooks and I'm the Operations Director of a company called SeaGrown. We're based in Scarborough, and as you can see we've got Scarborough in the background over my right shoulder. On the boat today, in the crew today alone, there are 3 of us who are ex-fishermen. There's somebody else who was working offshore, and we've got 2 internationally renowned scientists on the crew today who none of us would be working here for any other reason, because the jobs for us are simply not available. And we've come to sea, to our Caton Bay site, to look at the work that SeaGrown's doing as part of Project Sea Swell. We're growing seaweed at this site to help decarbonise the region, and in particular help the agricultural sector to do so.
So we've just hauled up one of our kelpidos from the sea. You can see here it's covered in seaweed. The seaweed we've got here is actually sugar kelp. You can see this really lovely growth here. When the seaweed grows, it takes up nitrogen from the water and it takes up carbon, which is really fantastic for this project. We're actually going to take this seaweed and we're turning it into a product called a biostimulant, and that's something that you can put on the land and then you use less fertiliser, and again that's really good for the environment because it means there's less nitrogen running off the land and we use less carbon in agriculture. You can also eat it, it's extremely tasty, so we're working on developing low carbon food products for the seaweed.
So we're making food products that can be added to beef products, existing beef products such as beef burgers, to lower the emissions of each one of those burgers by up to about 15%, which is obviously a huge hit when you multiply that out across the number of burgers that get eaten in North Yorkshire alone every single day. In that way, the stuff that we're doing out here in the North Sea can directly benefit what's happening in the wider county of North Yorkshire, and in particular the agricultural sector.
I'm not sure if you can see it on the video, but we have mussels growing here. These are self-seeded. There's hydroids, there's all sorts of little invertebrates living in amongst this. And they form the base of the food chain. When we're looking at underwater footage, we see small fish coming and feeding on them, there are larger fish, and then it goes all the way up to the top of the food chain and we find dolphins and harbour porpoise feeding in the site and all the seabirds. In fact, there's 100 times more seabirds feeding in our site than there are at a control site that's further up the coast. So it's been really fantastic to see what the kelpido can do for our oceans here in Scarborough.
The Carbon Negative Challenge Fund has been a really welcome addition to SeaGrown's work. It's allowed us to recruit new people, it's allowed us to put more equipment into the sea, it's allowed us to develop the onshore processing, to develop the biostimulant, to develop the food, and it's allowed us to develop a low carbon seaweed processing hub in North Yorkshire, just outside of Scarborough to the north. All of that has been leveraged and assisted by the Carbon Negative Challenge Fund.
The wider work that SeaGrown are doing here, not just around the nature recovery and carbon capture, but actually creating jobs at the same time. It just shows that we can do all those things at the same time. It's not one or the other. Creating jobs, growing the economy and improving the environment can be done together.